Okay, where are you? Okay, we are going to think about what are complex consonants. And before we get too far into this, let's just do a little bit of a review, and this would be similar to what I would do with students. Once they had learned these features, I would show them the card and then quickly have them make the sound that this card represents. Again, this is going to help them review. This is not the way you would introduce these phonics features. So let's pretend that I'm going to teach a class about the complex consonant DGE. I might start with a little review like this. All right, class, what's the sound this makes? Good. Sound? Quicker. Short vowel. Short sound? Good. Short sound? Short sound. Ah. What sound does this letter make? G. Now you're also going to teach your students that when this letter is followed by I, E, or Y, it makes the sound good. So the first sound of this letter is G. The second sound this letter makes when followed by I, E, or Y is J. Good. And then we have T. Good. And J. Now I'm also going to teach students this phrase. No English word ends with J. So this sound is, and the phrase is, no English word ends with J. And that's actually true. No English word ends with J. So that brings us back to this idea of what are complex consonants. Well, complex consonants are complex because they are only used in particular circumstances. So how are we going to help kids think about complex consonants? Well, let me go back to my oops, sorry. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. And I am going to now take the webcam. All right, there's my office. Yep, my desk. Okay, so here is a sort. And the way I would introduce complex consonants to students, especially the complex consonant DGE, is like this. All right, class, we are looking for words that have a long vowel. So those are the vowels that say their name, A, E, I, O, and U, or a short vowel. Now I can say this because you are a within word stage speller, and you already know what long vowels and short vowels are by the time you're learning DGE. All right, I'm going to read you a word, and you tell me if it has a long vowel or a short vowel. The word is edge. Does edge have a long vowel or a short vowel? Edge. Good, short vowel. The next word is huge. Huge. Long vowel, U. Yep. The next word is cage. Does cage, A. Long vowel, good. The next one is ledge. Short or long? Short. The next word is page, A. Long. The next one is bridge. Good. The next one is badge. Short vowel. Good. And the next one is fudge. There it is. And last but not least, stage. A. Right there it is. Now all of these words, page, huge, fudge, badge, they sounded like they ended with what letter? Page, edge. They all sound like they end in J, but we know that no English word ends in J. So let's look at these words. All of our long vowel words, we have the word huge and the word cage, help me read them, and the word stage, and the word page. Those are all our long vowel words. What do you notice about the long vowel words? Yeah, when you have a long vowel, the word has a j sound at the end, but that is made by a GE. That E kicks the U, makes it say its name. And the G followed by an I, E, or Y makes a j sound. Same thing's happening here. Same thing's happening here. That E kicks the vowel preceding it. Now our short vowels, let's look at these. Edge. Help me read them. Ledge, bridge, badge, and fudge. What do you notice about all of these words? The j sound is made by DGE. Every one of them ends with DGE. Now, why is that happening? We know that no English word ends in J. We know that. Why is that DGE happening? All right, well, remember how we talked about in the word huge? Here's the word huge. The E is jumping over this one consonant to make this U say its name, and it becomes huge, huge. In the word ledge, edge, ledge, bridge, badge, and fudge, what kind of vowel do we have? Short vowel. Now, if we just wrote edge like this, edge, and use the j sound over here, the GE, this E would kick this preceding vowel and make it say its name, and this would then be eege, but we want it to be edge. We need an sound. And so what we do is we put an extra letter in here, and this magic E can only jump over one consonant. So what we do is we're protecting this E from this silent E over here. Same thing's happening over here in badge. This E, it's jumping over that G, but it can't get to this A. So it makes this vowel short. Unlike over here, the E can jump over one consonant and make this vowel long. So the rule is, what would be the rule? See if you can come up with one sentence that would be the rule for when you use a GE and when you use DGE to record the J sound at the end of a word. Because we know that no English word ends in J. Okay, so here's the rule. If you hear a short vowel in a word that ends with the j sound, you're going to write it as DGE. If you hear the j sound at the end of a word that has a long vowel in it, you're going to write it as GE. So following that pattern, let's see if you can figure this out. How would you write the word, let me think. How would you write the word judge? Judge. What kind of vowel do you hear in judge? Is it long or short? It's short, so let's try it. J, and then how do we make the j sound? D-G-E. And that is indeed how you spell judge. Good. How would you spell the word, how about pledge? Pledge. Does it have a short vowel or a long vowel? Pledge. Here it is. Pull, D-G-E. Good work. How about the word, how about the word age? Age. You know, age to me sounds like it's just this. Age. Done. Except we know no English word ends in J. So when we say age, is it a long vowel or a short vowel? It's a long vowel. So we're going to put it here. A, and then our j sound is GE. That E kicks the A, makes it say its name. So when you're writing a word today and you hear a j sound at the end, you know no English word ends in J. So you have to think about the vowel, and if it has a long vowel, you will make the j sound with GE. If it has a short vowel, you'll make it with DGE. Okay, so this is how I would, sorry, let me get that set. This is how I would introduce a complex consonant DGE to students. Now, here's what it might look like for a teacher. Here is a, we call these anchor charts. And an anchor chart is some kind of instructional tool that the teacher would use to remind students of something that they studied. So here is the teacher's sort of poster that she's going to put up. And these are usually created with students. That's why you can see the little markings on here. And this pretty much is describing the pattern that we just studied, this one, the GE and the DGE. And then the teachers also added another level of analysis. When there's two vowels, you can also use the GE. So that's like in words like strange. Again, that E can only jump over one consonant, so it's safe making that. Let's look at some other complex consonants. We have here an anchor chart for CK. CK happens at the end of English words with short vowels. And so here's what the here's what the sort for that work could look like. This is from a Teachers Pay Teachers website. And you could have children think about the long vowel and the short vowel and do one of those blind sorts like we just did, where they realize then that when you hear the k at the end of a word with a long vowel, it's KE. When you hear the k at the end of a word with a short vowel, like back, it's going to be CK. And that CK only happens at the ends of words. That's part of what makes it complex. All right, another complex consonant is TCH. And here is the anchor chart that the teacher might use to introduce this pattern. And you can see the TCH is only used with short one-syllable words with short vowels. And then here is the sort the teacher might use. The teacher might ask kids to do this closed, teacher-directed pattern sort, because we have the words here. And they would cut these words apart and show how TCH is used at the end of short words with short vowels. The other common feature in complex consonant is QU. And QU is complex because Q never appears by itself. It only appears with U. And so here's a teacher's rendition of that in an anchor chart. She called it the wedding of Q and U. I guess they never get a divorce. They're always together, and they make that consonant sound almost like a K. This is an interesting sort. I apologize that it's pretty blurry, but I thought this was interesting. It's kind of complex, right? Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different categories. If we wanted to make this sort easier, it's got 4 categories now, how could we make it easier? Yes, so we could just say QU maybe is the new feature and K is the known feature, and just have two categories would be easier than 4. But what I like about this is you are sorting pictures, right? And you're sorting pictures to kind of decide if this has a Q sound here or a K sound, like in king and kite. Qu is a little different than K, very slight difference, right? But notice what's happening here is it's not a pattern sort yet because the first 2 letters in the word are missing. So I think this is an interesting kind of in between. It's in between a sound sort and a pattern sort. It's a sound sort because we have the picture. Quack sounds different than king. And kids are sorting these pictures, which we can usually think of as a sound sort. But the teacher has written the word underneath here, except for the first part of the word. So after kids sort these pictures, they can go back through and add the actual letters that start that word. So QU for quack, QU for quarter, and QU for question. K for king, and K for kite. Hopefully you're looking at this and saying, wait a minute, question and 20 would not be fair words for within word stage spellers. Good for you. You caught that. All right. There are other complex consonants. We usually think of these as silent letters. So KN is thought of as a complex consonant, WR and GN. And they're complex because even though 2 letters appear together, the GN appear together, you only sound one of the letters in that combination, and it's usually the second letter. So in a word that has a KN in the beginning, you only hear the N. WR, you only hear the R, and GN, you only hear the N. Now I could ask you, why isn't this a blend? Why isn't GN a blend? That's right, because it only is sounding one letter, and blends, like in the word blend, the BL, you hear both of the sounds. So this was a quick review of what are these complex consonants. They're complex in that they are a little different than the other features that we have seen. On your, whoops, let's see, on your, sorry guys, on your weekly prep, let me see here. Here we go. Okay. On your weekly prep now, you can answer the questions under where it says Screencast D. What's complex about complex consonants? Tell me 2 things you learned from doing the closed teacher-directed blind sort about how we record the sound J at the end of English words. And then there's a couple other questions here that are related to the video that you just saw. And that will end your work on the weekly prep. Please submit this completed via email, or you can submit it as a Google Doc through email by Friday. Thank you.